Have you noticed how easy it is to be very complimentary and compassionate and kind to everyone else except for this one? How to be more positive about your body. Oh, not really. Well, if you only knew. Yeah, I don't think so. Do you see how our self-talk gets in our way sometimes? We get compliments from someone. Oh, you look so cute. Right? And you don't accept it. Why? Because you're judging yourself. How to be more positive about your body starts with an understanding of how positivity works in the first place. And there are two processes going on that are obvious but unnoticed. Obvious but unnoticed, right? Like the feeling of your clothing. Can you feel it? Well, yeah, now that I call it to your attention. But you were totally ignoring it before I called it to your attention. There are processes going on right here in our own mind that are completely obvious once they're called to your attention, but completely unnoticed up until that point, right? And the two that I want to bring to your attention today will help you to be more positive about your own body. See that it's happening. Now, let's start with this concept. Metacognition is a made-up word. We make up words in psychology all the time. Metacognition, break it down. Cognition means thinking. Metacognition is a higher level. It's thinking about thinking. I invite you to do that right now, because when you're feeling bad about your own body, you're not thinking about your thinking. You're thinking about your body, and you're doing it in certain ways that will become obvious to you as you turn on the metacognition for a few moments. We're not here to decide, is your body good or not? No, that's not where we're going. And I'm not trying to tell you how to think. I don't have that kind of authority. I just want you to see that you are. Turn on your metacognition, think about your thinking for a minute, and notice this. We are constantly judging. Yes, we are. Constantly. You can't turn this off any more than you can turn off gravity. It's going to happen. Just notice it. You're constantly judging yourself, aren't you? Yeah, your body, your looks, your hair, your nails. You're constantly judging yourself. How smart you are, how cute you are, how adequate you are, how competent you are. It's happening all the time, but it's not just you. You're judging the people around you. Your boyfriend, your husband, you're judging your coworkers, your boss, the people in your community, the people in your church. You're judging me. It's all right. I'm judging you. I can't turn it off either. So we're constantly judging. Just notice that you are. How does our mind judge something? The word that I choose to describe this process is evaluation. Notice that evaluation and judgment are kind of the same thing. This is a process that we're constantly doing in our mind, and you can't turn it off. So you're not bad for doing this. You're human. Welcome to Earth. That's how we roll here. Notice that it's happening. The word evaluation itself implies comparison with some standard. So we pick some standard, and if we don't have a standard immediately available to us, we make one up. And we've got a really great imagination. Have you noticed this? So we take what it is. Think of your body now for just a few minutes. And you might be thinking, oh, I don't want to. I'm so hideous, or I'm so fat, or whatever. Okay, whatever the stories are, that's a judgment. That's an evaluation. You are the way you are. I know, that sounds profound, right? It is what it is. You are the way you are right now without changing anything. Is that good or bad? Well, I don't know. It just is what it is. But notice that you're making a judgment about that, aren't you? Yes, you are. Am I a tall man? Well, you might not know. I'm sitting here in front of you, right? You have no idea how tall I am. Would it help if I showed you a full-length picture of me? I think it might help. Can you see this? I'm standing next to Mark Eaton. Mark used to play center for the Utah Jazz. He's 7'4". In this picture, I barely make his shoulder. You guys, I'm 6'2". But at 7'4", Mark is a giant next to me. I'm a pipsqueak next to him. Well, it doesn't mean that he's a giant or I'm a pipsqueak. It means that we're comparing ourselves to something or someone, and we come up with our judgment based on that comparison. Just notice that you're doing it. So if you have a judgment of yourself that you are ugly or fat, really? Compared to who or what? Because I guarantee you that there are people who are bigger, shorter, fatter, taller, smaller, skinnier. No matter what, there's always people on both sides of the spectrum around you. For you to say that you are whatever implies a comparison. Just notice that you're doing it. Question. Do you have to compare yourself the way that you have been comparing yourself? No. You don't have to continue comparing yourself the way that you have. Just notice that that's what you're doing. And you got your reasons for preferring to do it that way. But notice what happens to your feelings. When you compare yourself to an imagined standard of something better or cuter or thinner or whatever than you are currently, how do you feel about where you are? Not good. Notice that. What happens when you compare where you are to something that's worse or less healthy or whatever it is, right? And then you see that you're in a better place compared to that. How do you feel? You feel better. Neither one is right or wrong. I just want you to notice that you're doing it. Now let's go to the second process. Creation. Where to from here? How you doing next week? You don't know. You don't know. Now you've got something to do with it. But you don't know how you're doing next week. So all of that is in your imagination. Check it out. When you imagine that what's coming is worse than what you've already got, how do you feel? This is anxiety. When we're worried or apprehensive or upset about what's coming, you don't know what's coming. Get real about that. As opposed to when we imagine that what's coming is even better than what we've already got, how do we feel? Notice it. Hope, eagerness, anticipation. You have the ability to choose your position, and that sets you up for what you're going to create. Think about it. When you're feeling inadequate, not good enough, to this or to that, or not enough this or not enough that, whatever. When you're feeling that, how likely are you to go do something productive to improve your life? Not so much. You're more likely to make a mess. Well, tune into that. What happens alternatively when you see that you're in a good place? This is good. How likely are you then to go do something productive? Oh yeah, whole different ball game. I know that I've given this a quick overview here today. I've described this whole process, those two mental processes that are happening, evaluation and creation. I've described them in detail in this mini book. Portable Positivity. Isn't it cute? And it fits in your pocket if you have a pocket. You might have a purse. It's going to fit in there real easy too. I have taken you step by step through this mini book to understand those two processes that we were talking about. I even threw in a picture of me with Mark Eaton. okay, to remind you about that comparison. If you would like a free copy of this, I'm going to set you up with a digital copy for free because I want you to be able to track this. It's in the description below. Go to that link. You can get a free copy of this, and that's going to help you to remember what we talked about in the video. You've got this, okay? You can feel better about your body and everything else that's going on in your life when you do some thinking about your own thinking and choose on purpose to stay in that positivity place. This model is powerful and not just about body image. Get that mini book and you'll see how it applies to every aspect of your life.